Mathematics is a language that everyone has to learn, but unlike any other language, it is understood by mathematicians around the world regardless of gender, race, culture, and class. Learning mathematics, therefore, must start at a young age. Kids in preschool are now expected to learn how to count, to name simple shapes, and to add small whole number. These kids will have to master these very simple concepts to develop a stronger grasp of simple math. In this, they are able to learn new concepts which require a higher level of learning, such as fractions and decimals. So, in this documentary, we will investigate what makes some students unmotivated to do math. We shall also see how theories and concepts in psychology are able to explain how some of these causes work. There are actually people who dislike math, so much that doing math causes them a tremendous amount of stress, and they try to avoid math entirely. This becomes even more problematic when they have to encounter mathematics in school. On the other hand, research has shown that the attitudes and beliefs of math instructors about their subject have a great influence on their instructional practices and the students' learning outcomes. All of our respondents are students of the Loyola Schools of the Ateneo de Manila University. We were able to get thoughts and perspectives from the students of the John Gokongwei School of Management to the students under the School of Humanities. From those who use math every day or in class to those who rarely does any math.
Hi.
Hi.
So, how often do you solve math problems in school?
In school?
Yes.
Once a day during math time, siguro. And when I have spare time, I solve assignments.
About every day since I have math class every day.
I only solve math problems when I need to.
Not very often since I only have had two math classes, two math courses. Math 11 and Math 12.
In school, maybe 5 times a day. 5 times, 5 times a week. 5 times a week.
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Do you like solving math problems in school?
Yes, kasi it's fun. Pero napapansin ko rin na hindi siya useful in life. For fun.
Honestly, no.
Why is that?
Because it's really challenging and it takes a lot of time.
Sometimes I do. Like, the best problems kasi are the ones that are just very monotonous. And then the other problems, yung kailangan ng proving. Hey.
Sakto lang.
Interestingly, we have a common response among many of the participants.
Not really. Siguro pag gets ko, it's okay. But then, it's not.
To some extent, yes. There's this feeling you get, this fulfilled, happy feeling once you get a problem. But it can also be frustrating if you don't get the correct answer.
This can be explained through the concept of operant conditioning and the law of effect. Operant conditioning is a type of learning where the desired behavior is rewarded, and according to the law of effect, the behavior that is rewarded is reinforced. With simple mathematics, it is easy to get rewarded after getting the right answer. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. But as the difficulty increases, it takes more time before a student gets rewarded, and if he gets it wrong, there is no reward. If the behavior, solving or studying math, is not too rewarded, the behavior experiences extinction. That is, the student loses motivation to do mathematics.
How good do you think you are at solving math problems?
I guess good enough to get by.
Not too bad, not too good.
I think I'm pretty adequate because based on my grades, it's adequate.
So average. Why do you think some people are very unmotivated to study math?
because I would say math would require. I'm not sure if it's the left or the right brain. Some people are more developed in the other side of the brain, where they are more creative instead of intuitive. So they are more difficult in terms of solving math problems, I guess.
The left side of the brain associated with logic, language, and reasoned thinking. It mainly focuses on details rather than wholes. The right side of the brain, on the other hand, is associated with expression and creativity. Under it are images, colors, and music. It tends to focus on wholes rather than details. Mathematics, then, is linked to the left side of the brain. So according to the theory, a more developed left brain will mean more developed math skills.
Would you like to do more math or less math in school? Do you think we have the right amount of math courses?
Well, I guess in most cases, people would say we have the right amount of math classes, but it's hard to define kasi what's functional math or just plain math. So, if I could say a better functional sort of math, yeah, we're good at least. Just right.
Yeah, I mean, math beats ITM. Look at
I think it's a very useful course to have. But in terms of me liking having math courses, no. I don't like having math courses. I have to though. I have to like it.
Siguro okay na yung amount of math that we have now.
less math.
Why?
Do you find your math courses applicable to your daily life?
Only the linear algebra ones, because that's needed in like counting money and all that. But I haven't really gone on into like business applications yet.
Medyo hanggang ano lang. Medyo hanggang addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Pati yung asymptote. Kasi yung asymptote, alam kong yun yung parang representation ko na ito yung pag-ibig. Tapos, never kong, kasi sobrang lapit ko, pero never kong maabot yung line na yun.
Some but not most of it. Like, accounting can apply and basic math can apply.
Siguro yung ano, math 11 yes, math 19 probably hindi. Kasi ano yung purpose ng pagganap ng lambda sa pagbili ng pagkain? O kaya pag, ano, para saan yung x squared sa pag-compute ng grades? So, for me, it's not practical.
Well, no, I don't think so. Well, the basic maths, yes, like counting, maybe a bit of simple algebra, simple geometry, yes. But then, when you go to the higher maths like calculus, it only applies to my work in the future.
If you are gonna apply if you're gonna apply the course in the career, then yes. Otherwise, not so much.
Siguro directly applicable, I don't think so. Pero, kasi I think much of learning math is indirect. Parang, it's like, there are, kaya when we're proving, diba, we have to be wary of yung, I don't know, loopholes when we prove, for example. So, it's the same when you think in everyday life. You talk to people, like, parang ganun.
Okay, in daily life, in most cases, hell no. What the hell? Why would I calculate the logarithm of something just to get the infinity of what? Okay. Yeah.
No, syempre not at all.
Yeah, although it's challenging, I find it applicable in my life because it would practice mental patience and ability. Yeah.
So would you say that math is one of your most favorite subjects?
No.
Favorite subjects? Okay, it really depends on the application. I can't really say. But it used to be one of my most favorite subjects.
No.
Why not?
It's too time consuming for me.
No.
Why not?
I'm not really good at it, so yeah.
Well, it's one of my least non-favorite.
Maths are only subject.
It is also important to note here the proper ages of learning certain concepts in mathematics. The concrete operational stage of learning starts at around the age of 7, and it is the time when people start learning about logic and concrete things. Ideally, people can learn algebra only after reaching the formal operational stage where we were more capable of thinking in abstract concepts like variables and even integrals. Not everyone reaches the formal operational stage, which may partly explain why others struggle with higher and abstract mathematics where computations occur with abstract variables rather than that more concrete numbers. College students, however, have to be in the formal operational stage of learning in order to survive all the requirements of college subjects, and thus, college students have all the capabilities of learning mathematics, and they probably know that they have to work hard. So why not train in mathematics then?
Why?
Because it's a hassle.
Do you like solving math problems?
No, not at all.
Why?
Because it's a hassle.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess when you're raised in math, do you find some kind of elegance in it? So I guess I've learned to love it. Siguro, I've been pretty much doing math like more than half of my life. So I guess it's like a marriage. You learn to live with it.
Math trainings exist partly due to behaviorism, a perspective of psychology that believes that all behavior is from the environment and can therefore be changed or trained.
There are some who are maybe not motivated, they just want to get it over and done with, and those who don't push themselves enough because they do not realize that they actually have to push themselves because maybe they're thinking the way they've been doing things have been sufficient so far and maybe it's also going to be enough, but then actually it's not.
We performed a short wildcard experiment on our interviewees to see whether they will be interested to study a relatively new part of mathematics called topology.
If given a chance, would you like to study that?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't know how to study
Why?
it.
Why not?
I don't see it as practical. I don't know how to study it either. So parang, yeah, I don't know.
No.
No. Why not?
I don't want to.
No. Why not?
I probably have other things to do.
Not really.
Why?
Parang hindi ko siya hobby yung mga ganito.
What's this for? Would I like to study it? Yeah, okay. Sige.
I find it interesting, but I would not like to delve more into the subject because I think this requires higher math, and I wouldn't want to.
Kaya ng brain ko. Medyo, yeah. I think it's interesting, yeah. But, yeah, I think I would like to learn that.
I don't know how it could be useful in life. Pero okay lang, it seems interesting.
Yes, it's a very interesting problem. It's a very interesting topic.
I'm pretty sure calculus has something to do with this, but yeah, I would much rather study Rainbow Road than calculus.
Well, sure.
Seeing how this doesn't make that much sense, why not? Just to give it... Yeah, totally. I want to understand how this thing works.
What then can we conclude from this? Well, the motivation to do mathematics is not a simple thing to discuss. It is a complex and multivariable. It depends on your mathematical background. It depends whether you have a good foundation or not. And it also depends on your personal interests. Thus, motivating a person to do mathematics is also not simple, but an effective way to start is to have a good instructor.